Everybody, it's your girl Miro, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is August the 9th, 2024, and today the topic is our adversary. Happy Friday, everybody. It's Happy Friday. I hope it's fine. Yes, mine was good overall. My main highlight from yesterday, y'all know I went to work and all that good stuff. Um, I was kind of anticipating a little negativity and all kinds of little stuff, but to God be the glory that prayer changes things. There was no negativity, nothing to worry about. There might be another meeting that I gotta have soon, but outside of that, I don't know. I guess what happened yesterday is kind of something that inspires this conversation today because the enemy would get in your ear, right, and in your mind and start talking about what could be and what is and all that type of stuff. And we could be on guard and be thinking like, oh, what if this, what if that? And don't get me wrong, like I've always been somebody that would think about the positive and the negative in a situation, right? But I've noticed at least lately that your girl has been like automatically thinking about the negative response or the negative thing. And so I've been like just really praying against it and things of that nature. And on one hand, it has increased my faith in prayer life, right? To, think that way and then say, okay, well, Lord, I know you can handle it. I know you can do it. You can change the situation. You can help it to be positive, whatever the case may be. And so I'm going to the Lord. But at the same time, too, I'm just like, why is my mind automatically going to the negative? You know what I'm saying? Like, I keep having these situations where my mind goes to the negative and then it don't turn out to be that at all. And so I guess today I just want to chit chat about our adversary so we can just go ahead and strengthen ourselves to know that we don't have to believe none of the lies that he's talking about. We know that he is the father of lies. He can come into, our hearts and minds and try to whisper things and try to make it seem like, oh, it could be this, it's that, it's this and that. And then we sit here believing the lies and living accordingly when we don't have to. At the end of the day, he is already a defeated foe. And that's ultimately the juice this morning. But I got more stuff to tell y'all just in case we need more encouragement with this. But yeah, we're going to take a look at our adversary today so we can go deeper about that. So that's the main thing. We did have day 2 of NJ's school. They didn't have language arts. They ended up taking language arts off and just had math. And then they put physical education on there. So we just kind of pretty much got some more basic stuff about that stuff. But so far, so good. We're going to continue today. And actually, we have to go run an errand today because my husband decided to be a blessing and whatnot. And so, he done, bless the sister with being able to get my oil change and, look into another service for the car and whatnot. So it's God be the glory, for providing through my husband and for my husband and things of that nature. We still praying about that, to get him tithing and stuff. Because I'm just saying, listen, all I know is I have what I need. Look, you know what I'm saying? I be tithing, I be taking it, splitting it up, putting it where it need to be. And then I might have to take out of wherever it is. Because like I said, I started a vacation fund account, what was it, a couple weeks ago. And I had to dibby in it, to get some stuff done. But at least it's there and it's established to get started. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm just trying to share the things that have been helping and blessing me. But let's get to this conversation about our adversary, okay, y'all? So, I was going deeper about this, and obviously, I went to my usual suspects, regular places. OpenBible.info, I plugged in the phrase, our adversary, and that came up with several verses. There's a couple of them that I'm going to be sharing today. And then y'all know that I've been, using real heavy that app at chatholybible.com and had a conversation with it today about our adversary, and this is what I feel led to share this morning. First Peter 5:8 says, "Be sober-minded, be watchful. Your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour." There's a lot of things that kind of stood out to me this morning when I wrote that down and thought about this. One, I felt like going deeper about this being sober-minded thing, because obviously I think a lot of us just automatically think about alcohol when we hear the word sober, things of that nature. So I kind of want to go deeper about the phrase sober-minded and why that was used right here and stuff like that. I didn't do that yet, but I'm just saying I was thinking about I should probably do that. But ultimately I felt like it kind of reiterated or answered the questions a little bit to say, be watchful. Um, your adversary devil prowls around like a roaring lion. Now, when I got to that part, man, I couldn't help but think about something I saw last night. I saw this, I think it was on Instagram. Somebody was sharing these amazing photos of a Black Panther in the forest, or and they had this picture of it running, they had this picture of it like looking behind the trees and things of that nature. And that's what I pretty much thought about when I thought about, again, the devil prowling around like a lion, just kind of lurking, you know, trying to find his next prey and things of that nature. And again, if you open yourself up to him and allow him, then you gonna be that next prey. Okay. Now we don't have to do that. Again, we know that we should know, because I don't think we know, but so we should know that we are, basically encountering a defeated foe. Like, he's already been knocked out. But at the end of the day, we live our lives as if he really truly had power. And so that's something I kind of was going deeper about this morning. I was like, well, let me, break down what we should know about this. Because again, some people, they go to the next extreme and they start worshiping the devil, right? Some people, they don't know that they're doing that. Just by rejecting God, you're automatically doing that. So that's another thing as well. And then some people are like, oh, I don't have to worry or care about him. And that's true to a certain extent, but I think we also should be aware. So we can, know what we're up against, right? And so this is what we should know about our adversary. One, he is a deceiver. Let that marinate. He is a deceiver. Like I said, over the past few days, I'm sitting here worried. I'm sitting here thinking. I'm sitting here like believing some of the lies. Like, oh, well, maybe this is it. Or, oh, this or that. And ultimately, he is a deceiver, friends. He is a liar. The Bible says he's the father of lies. And so, again, we don't have to believe the lie. And we'll talk more about that in a moment. Let me tell you guys what else we should know about him. He is a murderer. Okay, so I mean, we can say physical murder or maybe even spiritual murder. He is a murderer uh, of God's creation. Now, he can't do it to God, so he do it to the next best thing, what God loves, which is us. So that's something to think about. Let me go ahead and tell you something else we should know. He is a thief. Friends, nothing that he has, whatever the case may be, belongs to him. Because guess what? Everything belongs to God. And so therefore he is stealing from the Lord and you and me and everything like that, if we allow him. So he is a thief, y'all. That's something that we should know. Another thing we should know is that he is a tempter. So again, like there's only so much that he can do. Like, I think that's the main thing we should know, and I think that's gonna come up in a moment. But there's only so much he can do. So it's like he's tempting us, right, to do things according to his will. And so that's the unfortunate thing, because a lot of us, we fall for it. Again, Adam and Eve was the first. And then not the first, technically some of the angels was the first, right? And then, Adam and Eve, and then now ultimately us, right? And so, again, he's out here tempting. He's a tempter. So it goes on to say that he is a spiritual foe. So we already established that he is a spiritual foe. He hates God. He's going against God, and the ultimate way to try to get to God is to get through us. And so, he's trying out his best to do that. But here's the main thing I think we should know, friends. He is not all powerful. Can we say that again? He is not all powerful, friends. At the end of the day, he is not God. He is not an equal opponent to God. Like, I think in some ways we like to think he is, and things of that nature. And we're going to get into that in a second. But, can you wrap your head around that? You know what? He is not all powerful. He doesn't know everything. He can't do everything. He's very, the next thing to know, he is a limited authority. Okay, so he is a limited authority, friends. He has limited authority, and it is, and he is a limited authority. So, these are things to think about, and again, let these things marinate on your heart, souls, and minds. When we're going through this, when we're dealing with the temptations on any end, or the deception, or any of these things, I think those last couple of things is the most important things to know about our enemy. I know that we can, again, get caught up in mystery and the spiritual aspect and all this different type of stuff. But I mean, we'll talk about that in a second. Let me go ahead and go deeper about what I wanted to share today. So I ended up, again, I'm still talking to the chat GPT, or excuse me, not chat GPT, chatholybible.com. I was still, chatting with that app this morning. And I was like, well, why is it that it seems like, um, the devil is an equal opponent to God? Because, again, a lot of people like to think that he has greater power than God, or that he's at least equal, because of this ongoing battle that's happening. Here are some reasons why that hopefully will help us understand. So one reason is because scripture highlights his influence. Okay, because if scripture didn't mention nothing about him, then we probably wouldn't know, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? So scriptures mentions his influence, so it seems as if he's equal to God, or it seems as if he's, at least important enough for us to know, and that type of thing, right? So that's one reason. So the next thing is that he is a powerful adversary. So what his methods, his techniques, the temptations, all these things are very powerful. But I think we might need to keep in mind that it's a limited power. Okay, so he is very powerful, but a limited power, but limited. Um, the ultimate thing is as well that we are in a spiritual battle, friends. That's another reason why it seems like he's on the same aspect or whatever, because it's like good against evil and things of that nature. We are in a spiritual battle. Therefore, it seems as if, usual battles are usually between two equal types of people or situations or whatever the case may be. And so I guess because we're in this spiritual battle, it feels like that, again, he could be an equal opponent to God. But we know that that's not true, friend. We know that that's not true. According to the Bible, that is not accurate information. So let's keep talking about the Bible, what the Bible has to say. 1 John 4:4 says, "Ye are of God, little children, and have overcome them, because greater he that is in you than he that is in the world." So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, again, we got to be reminded of what the truth is, and that is that we belong to the Lord. And so, again, we are on the winning side if we align ourselves with the Lord. Now, one thing I was thinking about as I was getting ready to go live today, was that I just really feel bad for those that, they align themselves fully with the adversary. Like, it just, to me, it doesn't make any sense, especially if you are familiar with the Bible at all. It's like, why would you align yourself with the one that loses? Like, who would do that? You know what I'm saying? But people do. Like, there's people that are, will be saying that they are bold, satanic, believers and all this different type of thing. And I can't lie, man. I can't help but think every now and then about what I hear the last quotes of those satanic leaders and stuff like that were. Now, again, there's no way for me to confirm that this is what these people said, because I wasn't there, right? So I'm just going off of whatever the quote unquote testimonies are of what their last words were and things of that nature. But if their last words is what I've shared with you guys in the past, and what we see online sprinkling around and all that type of stuff, if those are their actual last words, I feel bad for them. You know what I mean? Like, you spent your whole life building the satanic church and doing all this stuff, and then in your last words basically is acknowledging how deceived you were, saying things like, "Oh, this something's not right," and all this different type of stuff, because the enemy has deceived you. Our adversary deceived you so much. Now, there are some, again, I mentioned this earlier, so let's reiterate this. Okay, there are some that don't know that they're aligned. So I'm not, in the beginning I was talking about people that, they automatically, yes, I go to the same church and I do, those people, I feel bad for them too. I feel bad for both people, right? But, for those that like are truly aligning themselves with the enemy and with the adversary and with the losing team, I mean, that I don't really have anything else to say about it. I mean, other than I feel bad, Now, for those that don't know that they're aligning themselves with that, because that's possible. We could just be living our life and then just thinking like, oh, maybe you reject God and you reject the things he wants you to do, and and you're just doing that throughout life, and you don't realize that that's what you're doing, aligning yourself up with Satan and the adversary and things of that nature. That still too is a sad case. You know what I mean? Like, to go through life and then you just rejecting God, left and right, and you're thinking that you're, fine or something like that. I'm a good person and all these things that people say. According to the Bible, that don't mean a hill of beans, because there's none good according to the Bible. All have sinned and fallen short according to the Bible. So the only thing that can get you in heaven and the only thing that can make you righteous is believing that Jesus came, he died, and he rose again. That's it. Nothing makes you a good person. Nothing you can do. You can sit here and give all, your money and do all the things, right? Now, yes, your life should reflect some fruit of the spirit should be in your life, and you should do things. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what's going to get you in, right? It's belief in Jesus. Again, what you do with Jesus is the most important decision you're going to ever make in life, according to my understanding and according to the Bible. So I only got one more thing to share in regards to, what I felt led to write down this morning. And that verse is James 4:7. It says, "Submit yourselves, therefore, to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you." I told you guys the other day yesterday actually, about the night before and how I felt like this presence and all this type of stuff. And then I was like, taking my authority and saying, what, get out, leave me alone, leave my family alone, leave my husband, my child, get out of our house. You are not welcome here. And I ain't felt that presence no more, at least the past couple nights, not yesterday at all. And my thing is, again, the Bible's very clear that we can resist the devil and he will flee from us. Again, take note of what Jesus did when when the devil encountered him. Take note of what he did when he encountered it in other people. He told it where to go, friends. And so, again, we don't have to be scared. We don't have to be worried or anything about this defeated foe. He's already been defeated. And that's ultimately the juice this morning. I mean, if you guys want to go deeper, you guys can go and do all the things that I've shared today. Plug the phrase into Bible.info. Have a conversation with the Chat Holy Bible app. Research whatever you want to know about the adversary. I mean, there's plenty of information out there. But I think there was only one thing in particular that you all really need to know about the enemy. And I put that in the Go Deeper section. That's in Revelations 20:10. Take a look at that. Now, for those that don't take that time, then fine, I'll go ahead and just give you a snippet of what it says. It's pretty much talking about the fall of Satan and what's going to happen to him. If you want to align yourself and let that be your leader, then hey, by all means, choose you this day who you want to serve. And if you want to get with the defeated foe that's going to basically ultimately be cast down to the fiery pits of hell, and you go with him, if that's what you want, friend, again, you got the free will and choice to do that. But I mean, if you can read that and say, you know what, I'm gonna let him have that by himself, and I'm gonna go on and get on the Lord's side and on the winning side and things of that nature, then I hope and pray that this has encouraged you and inspired you to do so, because that's the juice. Now, the Bible verse of today is Philippians 2:13. It says, "For it is God which worketh in you both to will and to do of his good pleasure." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. Mommy. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Just a reminder, friends, we do have a new episode of the GSL Talk Show coming out tonight at 7 p.m. We're having a chat with Miss Christina Jones. She is of Suppressed Wounds. That's the name of her movement that she has going on. Amazing lady with a powerful testimony that you don't want to miss. Again, that's coming out tonight at 7, or you should be able to watch it as our featured video on the GodSexandLove.com website. But yeah, man, y'all have a great Friday, and I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.